Alright, this is so cool. Sitting here, I've got Rick. Rick's been working for, I don't know how long. He's building an e-commerce store. Riley's in the dark over there editing, I think. Really cool. Last week I made the decision to start waking up at 5 a.m. to get a couple hours of work done. Focused on building my business forward, Sunset Crew. And I mentioned it to Riley, and he really prioritizes when he does his creative work and wants to give it a go too, which is so cool. And Rick is quite the early bird with working around his work schedule, and I just love it so much. I talk about community, and I talk about how cool it is to have the right people around you, and to have two other entrepreneurs building businesses and building towards their goals is very, very cool. And it's 7 degrees right now, so very happy to be with company right now. I am listening to Jimmy Fallon's podcast interview with Stephen Bartlett on the Diary of a CEO, and it's so cool. He is one of the most obsessed people I've ever listened to about his journey. And essentially when he was like 13, he made the decision he was going to be on Saturday Night Live, and that's like a comedy show in America, and that was his only goal. That's what he was obsessed with. And he even went to the extreme of, if he wasn't on Saturday Night Live by 25, he was going to kill himself, which is so crazy. But he got it at 24, and it's just insane, the obsession that he had. He doesn't live in a world where he didn't have it and didn't get it. Sophia, I'm excited to see her. Alright, I am just gotten home. I meant to have my phone off, but I need to finish my daily video. I'm listening to Chris Williams' podcast on Diary of a CEO and with Stephen Bartlett. It is incredible. It's so cool. I'm like 20 minutes in and I'm wanting to like re-listen and take notes. But essentially what they're talking about right now, they're kind of quoting Alex Hormozi, or talking about what are your toxic drivers, the dark motives, and what are your positive motives for what you're doing. And they're talking about how successful people, most of the successful people they've interviewed, don't have perfectly balanced. There is negative or dark, not negative, dark motive. Somewhere in there. Anyway, what they're talking about, Chris Williamson quoted Joe Rogan, said, essentially overcoming your imposter syndrome is about building a mountain with a layer of paint, with thin layers of paint. So it's like, maybe you do one episode and that's like one layer of paint, but then you like do 600 episodes and that's 600 layers of paint. And something that's so clear for me is that I've been realizing yesterday is like, we are not at where I envision Sunset Crew yet. And that is a beautiful thing. But I need to keep stroking the paintbrush, and I need to keep filling in the color and the shade to show people where we're going and what we're doing. And they're talking about imposter syndrome, and Alex Hormozi talking about like, you've got to outwork your self-doubt and be consistent. And I love that for Sunset Crew and how I feel right now. I just have to outwork and keep working on, the fears that I have, and keep showing up and keep proving them wrong. Another thought that I've had is, I journaled for the first time in a while, as opposed to using ChatGPT. And ChatGPT, I think, is too quick and overstimulating to grasp the takeaways and the key messages. Journaling just felt so relaxing, to just sit in stillness with my thoughts. So essentially what I've been thinking about over the past few days, and this is a continuation from yesterday's video, is I passed on the baton too early. I think that's how I feel right now with the crew leader budgets. I need to show people what Sunset Crew could be, what it could look like with budgets. And so here are some of my notes. I think, like, what is Sunset Crew's signature? What is its special event? If we had a platform called Crew, or if Sunset Crew was a platform where people could create their crews and get paid for it based on how many people are in their crew, and Sunset Crew was a platform within its own ecosystem, what would people be in Sunset Crew for? And essentially this helped me think about, like, Sunset Crew is the pioneer crew. We're facing the exact same challenges. I'm gonna have to go and teach people how to keep people in your crew, how to keep people active, how to create culture. Once I figured out, I'm still developing the playbook. Once I figure it out, I can take it and teach it, but I need to keep figuring it out. In the same sense, so I looked into this in entrepreneurial terms, and ChatGPT said it's called dog fooding, which I'm still looking into, but it kind of makes sense. It's like you're essentially using your own product to run your own business. So some of the examples it gave is like Salesforce uses its own CRM, or I actually can't remember the examples. Meetup started, I think, by running in-person events before they became a platform. And so the way I see it is, like, Sunset Crew has to be the pilot crew before it goes and becomes the platform. And so here's some of my notes. I'm getting distracted. Anyway, Sunset Crew's signature thing that I thought of is we are really good at bringing people together to explore a shared perspective. So right now, that's humans, basically. And we're all humans. But what if that looked like bringing people together for different intended events? Like, we're all curious, we're all playful, we're all 20 and figuring it out, we're all new to the Gold Coast. And what if that, I think that signature, and then it's like, we're all in nature, we're all disconnected, and it's an event about disconnecting, or it's an event, a hike, and it's like, I think that is how Sunset Crew, if it was its own crew, would stand out, is it would kind of run with this we're all series. And so I'm not sure if I mentioned the idea yesterday for like a big event this month. And my idea, we have $400, we have about 100 people, splitting people into 8 teams, giving each team $50 and saying to them, you have to create a dish for the group. And it's a competition. And then bringing everyone together for a bonfire and music and sharing food. Essentially creating an experience a month, or building up, but starting with creating one experience per month that is unmissable or unforgettable, or people don't stop talking about, being the goal. Now, this event series, the big event could be called We're All Sunset Crew, events with the intention to bring the whole community together. But then here are my notes. So Sunset Crew's signature events distributed amongst the crews of interest. So there would of course be spontaneous social events that are organized, and like the book club, wakeboarding, trivia, things like that. But then signature events would be added on. Included in the membership are the signature We're All events, like that Sunset Crew signature event. The crew network of different social groups of like-minded people, so the 50 different groups or whatever, I think will cull some of the crews. But that is an inclusion. The Sunset Crew calendar. So these are kind of like what you get for your membership. And I was starting to have doubt and feelings of doubt with the membership. We've had 3 people cancel, and that's actually pretty normal churn so far. That's well below average. That is 3%. But it's just made me think, like, how could I create more stickiness? How could I create more
proximity to the vision that I hold. And so, yeah, big monthly event called We're All Sunset Crew, smaller sub We're All events. I'm starting to have meetings and reach out to businesses and companies on LinkedIn about running We're All Humans workshops. So I said, like, continuing with the We're All being our signature, it's like we're all this team. So team building workshops. My purpose is to bring people together, bring humans together. And I love the idea of like putting things into my control and my hands to go and provide the value and go and show people what they're paying for and why. This is the first time Sunset Crew has had budget to run events. And yeah, I think acting as if we were the first crew on the platform makes the most sense to me. So it's about showing people how creative I can be with these budgets. And yeah, every incredible experience is a layer to stay and a layer that paints the vision of showing people what Sunset Crew stands for. So yeah, that's what's on my mind. The podcast is really good. This is probably going to be my daily video. I think I filmed one earlier as well, but my day today felt really good. I just had an incredible upper body workout. Really happy with that. Didn't do too much work. My main work was sitting and reflecting with this. Putting out polls right now in the WhatsApp to see what identities people resonate with so that I can create experiences around that. Because it's like, essentially what I thought about is Sunset Crew could have and does have its own connection style, and we're not leveraging that as much. In the future, I envision like drag and drop Sunset Crew session builders, kind of like Kahoot meets Quizlet, but for connection questions. But for now, I can just run the sessions myself. And it's just continuing to master meaningful connection. So that's what's present. My day today, I had a great upper body workout. Did jiu-jitsu, that was good too. A good workout. Was a bit stiff, but felt pretty good. Did yoga with Sophia this morning, that was really nice. And we had breakfast, had a chill morning, that was good. Did my 5 a.m. work session, really cool 5 a.m. work session, was with Riley and Rick, so I love that. And now going to do a bonfire. So really good day. I think my key takeaway is to just keep going and outwork my self-doubt to give myself proof.